Hi, this is Brad Hennings from CCK Law.
And Christine Clemens from CCK Law.
And we're both partners coming to you from our San Antonio, Texas office. And we're here to talk about the biggest benefits that veterans overlook. We just want to give a quick introduction to CCK Law if you're unfamiliar with us. We're the nation's largest veterans law firm with offices across the country. We have over 100 individuals who are accredited by VA or admitted to practice before the U.S. Court of Appeals for Veterans Claims. Many of the cases that define veterans law today were argued by CCK Law attorneys. We also create thousands of free blogs and YouTube videos like this one to help people with their claims and appeals.
With that in mind, what are we discussing today? Ordinarily, we focus our videos on breaking down the laws or rules behind veterans' claims or appeals. If you're facing a complex claim or a recent denial, our blog or YouTube channel has a lot of useful resources for you.
But today is going to be really oriented toward the veterans who might not have spent a lot of time researching the process yet and may not even be aware that they are eligible for certain major benefits.
Many of our clients first come to us with a specific need in mind, a back injury, PTSD, or a rating increase. But once we do a full case review, we often discover that they're missing out on a whole categories of benefits.
So today, we're going to walk you through 3 of the biggest VA benefits that we consistently see veterans overlook. These aren't obscure benefits. These are life-changing programs that thousands of eligible veterans are just not using.
The 3 biggest benefits that veterans overlook. Let's start with secondary service connection. This is a really common one, maybe even the most overlooked source of compensation.
So secondary service connection means that if your service-connected disability causes or aggravates another condition, that new condition can also be service-connected. That includes physical, mental, or even medication-related side effects.
For example, if you have a service-connected knee injury and you start overcompensating by walking differently, and that causes problems in your hips or back, those new problems can be service-connected secondarily.
We also see this with mental health conditions. A veteran with service-connected PTSD might develop sleep apnea, migraines, or gastrointestinal issues. These can all be connected secondarily if the evidence supports it.
And don't forget residuals. Residuals are long-term consequences of treatment or surgery for your service-connected condition. For instance, if you had back surgery and now you have a large painful scar or permanent numbness in your leg, that's potentially compensable.
Even side effects from medication count. A veteran taking antidepressants might experience sexual dysfunction or weight gain, and while obesity itself is not compensable, it could lead to even more connected health conditions like hypertension or heart disease. Okay, if we're going to talk about adding new ratings, we should take a moment to talk about VA math and our free disability pay calculator. So VA math. Additional ratings are not additive. VA doesn't simply add percentages together. 2 50% ratings do not equal 100%. Instead, VA uses something called VA math. VA starts with the idea that you're 100% able-bodied and subtracts each disability as a percentage of what's left. The final combined ratings are rounded to the nearest 10%. So 65% becomes 70%, 64% becomes 60%. Higher individual ratings are considered first in the calculation. For example, if you have a 50% rating, you're considered 50% disabled. If you then get a second 30% rating, it's 30% of the remaining 50%, which is about 15%, bringing the combined total to 65%, which rounds up to 70%. If all that sounds like a lot, you're not alone. But we've got some good news. We've made a free online calculator to do this work for you. You can find CCK Law's Disability Pay Calculator at the URL on the screen. Just put in some details about your ratings, either ones you have or are thinking about pursuing, and the calculator will give you your combined rating. All right, that's how to understand what actual compensation you might actually get from adding new claims. Now let's get back to overlooked benefits.
Next up is TDIU, total disability based on individual unemployability.
A lot of veterans think you have to be rated 100% to receive 100% compensation. That's not true. TDIU allows veterans who can't work due to service-connected conditions to be paid at the 100% level, even if their combined rating is lower.
The key is showing VA that your service-connected disabilities prevent you from securing or maintaining substantially gainful employment. That means regular work that supports you financially, not marginal jobs or protected work environments.
For instance, a veteran with a 70% PTSD rating and a 10% back rating may still qualify for TDIU if those conditions make it impossible to keep or hold a job. And in some cases, veterans with multiple lower ratings, like 30% for a heart condition and 50% for migraine headaches, can also qualify if those combined disabilities keep them out of the workforce.
This is a huge benefit. It's often the difference between living near the poverty line and having financial stability. But a lot of veterans don't realize they qualify because they think that they have to hit that 100% mark through combined ratings.
Last up, let's talk about special monthly compensation, or SMC, and aid and attendance.
These are monthly payments for veterans who have specific, serious needs, like needing help with daily tasks, being housebound, or having very severe disabilities like loss of use of a limb or organ function.
VA often overlooks when a veteran is eligible for SMC, especially aid and attendance. Aid and attendance is usually associated with veterans who need help with activities of daily living, like bathing, dressing, or managing medication. It is often granted through smc-l, which is just one level of a whole system of SMC tiers.
VA is supposed to automatically add aid and attendance and the other SMC benefits, but sometimes veterans don't know to include evidence that would alert VA. So you might have to apply for SMC with an appeal or supplemental claim.
We've helped many veterans who are already at 100% uncover that they qualified for smc-k, smc-l, or something higher, sometimes adding hundreds or even thousands of dollars a month in additional and crucial benefits.
Again, finding benefits like this is where a law firm like CCK can make a big difference. We know how to spot these missed opportunities and build a strong case for the compensation that disabled veterans are promised by law.
Let's wrap up with questions we often hear about these benefits. What are examples of common secondary conditions? First, sleep apnea is secondary to PTSD. In other words, you have PTSD, and as a result, it leads you to develop sleep apnea or it aggravates your sleep apnea. In this case, sleep apnea is considered service-connected. Next, you can have depression secondary to chronic pain. Another possibility is radiculopathy, which is leg or arm nerve pain, secondary to spinal injuries to your back or neck. Now, can medications or treatment side effects qualify as secondary conditions? Interestingly enough, yes. VA can grant service connection for condition caused by treatment. For example, weight gain from steroids causing diabetes, antidepressants causing sexual dysfunction, etc. But you need documentation showing this connection. Now, can a denied primary claim affect a secondary one? The answer is yes. If the primary condition isn't service-connected, the secondary can't be either. However, if the primary gets approved on appeal, the secondary can follow suit. So you need to be prepared to file a supplemental claim if that happens. But can I work and still receive TDIU? Yes, but only marginal employment is allowed. Marginal means income is below the federal poverty line or the job has special accommodations only for you. Now, something to keep in mind is that under-the-table income still counts. Failing to count that may lead to overpayments or penalties. Does age or retirement affect TDIU? No. VA doesn't consider age or non-service-connected conditions. TDIU is only about your service-connected conditions. Even if you took early retirement or are older, you can still qualify. Now, is TDIU permanent? No. Earning more than marginal income will get reported to VA, which will request more info or give notice that it is removing benefits. What's the difference between aid and attendance and housebound benefits? Aid and attendance is for veterans needing assistance with their activities of daily living. Housebound is for veterans who are mostly confined to their home due to disability but don't require assistance. You can't receive both at the same time. Now, can I get aid and attendance benefits even if I'm not rated 100%? Yes, through SMC-L, which doesn't require 100% scheduler rating. You may qualify for SMC-L if, for example, you need help with 2 or more activities of daily living, like bathing, dressing, or feeding. VA will review your medical forms and often send you for an exam before qualifying you for SMC-L. Can a spouse or dependent receive aid and attendance? A surviving spouse may receive aid and attendance under DIC or survivor's pension. The rules and requirements mirror the veteran's aid and attendance and use VA Form 21-2680 as well. Dependents may also qualify for certain support, but not direct aid and attendance payments. Now, what are SMC-L, SMC-R1, SMC-R2, and SMC-T? So these are all the special monthly compensation levels that are compensate for aid and attendance. The higher the level, the higher compensation. A very simple summary of the requirements. SMC-L equals help with daily living. SMC-R1 equals a need for regular care. SMC-T1 is also the need for regular care, but it compensates more because it is for victims of TBI only. SMC-R2 typically means there's professional level near constant care. So let's say you file a new claim or appeal for one of these benefits and you win. How does back pay work? Basically, once you win your claim, you get payback to your effective date. Now, there are effective dates for secondary service connection, effective dates for TDIU, and effective dates for aid and attendance, and those all may be different. Okay, let's get Christine involved on a few of these. How do I prove secondary service connection?
You usually need a medical opinion, something that explains how one condition is at least as likely as not caused or worsened by another condition. A nexus letter from your doctor can go a long way. What if VA denied TDIU before? Can I reapply?
Yes. If your condition has worsened or if new evidence is available, you can reapply or appeal. A denial is not the end of the road. Is aid and attendance only for elderly veterans?
Not at all. It's based on need, not age. We've seen younger veterans with severe PTSD, MS, traumatic brain injury, or mobility issues qualify if they need help with everyday activities. I may qualify for TDIU or SMC now, but I already have a rating. Do I risk my existing rating by getting examined by VA with a new claim?
Yes. Be aware that VA can use an increased rating claim to re-examine your existing rating. However, the benefits we've talked about today are very significant and they can make a huge difference, especially if your condition deteriorates over time. So if you have a solid claim, you should not automatically self-deny your benefits. Talking to a doctor about your condition can help confirm you have a reasonable claim before filing for an increased rating. You can also talk to a VA-accredited representative about your eligibility or how to maximize your chances of success.
If you are a disabled veteran and any of these situations sound like they may apply, please reach out. Even if VA hasn't mentioned these benefits to you, that doesn't mean you don't qualify. And if you're already in the appeals process, we may be able to help you build a stronger, faster, more comprehensive claim due to our experience with thousands of similar cases.
And if you're not sure whether these or other rare benefits may apply to you, you may want to check out CCK's VA Claim Builder tool. The Claim Builder is also great if you're preparing a VA claim but are overwhelmed by the amount of information available, or you have a claim started but you want to double check that you considered everything. This tool can tell you evidence you need, related claims you might have overlooked, and so on. With just a few quick questions, the CCK VA Claim Builder will build a list of information tailored to your claim. So let's walk through the tool. The first question checks if you should proceed as a claim or an appeal. This tool is meant to help with initial claims. If you need help appealing a denied claim, contact us. The next question asks whether you're rated for this claim condition. This is important because increased rating claims no longer need to prove service connection. We're going to continue to use the tool as if we were seeking direct service connection. Your discharge status has a major impact on what benefits are available to you. If your discharge status qualifies you for VA benefits, you can continue. If not, we offer resources to upgrade your discharge. Now we're checking whether you might be eligible for presumptions. If so, this can greatly simplify your claim and reduce the amount of evidence you need to produce. To claim benefits, you need to show service connection. The first step in service connection is showing an in-service event, injury, or illness. Next, we ask what evidence you already have, in case there might be additional evidence you haven't considered. We ask about pre-existing conditions because they might still be eligible for VA compensation if they were aggravated by military service. The second step of service connection is proving that you have a diagnosed disability. This question helps us determine what additional medical evidence could help you show the severity of your condition. The final step of service connection is proving a nexus, or the connection between the in-service event and your current disability. Here we're going to find the way veterans can prove this. Moving on, PTSD is a very common issue among veterans, so we're checking if you might qualify. Feel free to say yes if you aren't sure, and we'll give you more information. VA may increase your compensation if you require another person's assistance every day. Answer yes if you want to learn more about aid and attendance VA benefits. If your disabilities prevent you from holding a normal job, you may qualify for increased VA compensation under Individual Unemployability, or TDIU. Answer yes to learn more. Click Build My Claim to get a page of valuable and highly relevant information specifically for your situation. You can view the information on this page, or you can have the information emailed to you for later review, or click the Reset button at the end of the page to start over. Remember, this is just a research tool, not legal advice. Please talk with a VA-accredited representative or VSO if you need help with your claim. Don't forget, VA accreditation matters. Visit our website to learn more. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out our blog and YouTube channel for more insights like these.